Greetings to all lovers of PvZ Madness, and I warn you at once, keep away from the screens all those who have weak nerves, pregnant women and even pregnant men. Today is going to be PvZ Madness of the highest order, and we only need one plant. The name of this hero is Thyme Warp. Anyway, what's there to say, support me with a like and let's see! I'll start the video with the segment I showed in the middle of the week. I decided to duplicate it because it makes for a fuller video, and someone might have missed the last one. Anyway, after teleporting zombies by Thyme, see what happens. Even the static fisherman, who normally can't be moved by anything, becomes a great projectile for the dancer's thrust. This is a great example of PvZ Madness, which we're about to elaborate on. Poor zombie with a fishing rod, now the reckless breakdancer can push him as far as the movers and throw him under the deadly aggregate. And I bet the fisherman never thought he would end his second life this way. But unfortunately for the fishing lover, we are not done with him today. It turns out that after being teleported by Thyme, he can be pushed not only by breakdancer, but even by Ankylosaurus. The board turned out to be a real flying object, and I thought it would be very spectacular to land this flying machine on the olive pit. Look, the board just flew right into the hole in the underground plant. It's beautiful. However, the fisherman's tortures didn't end. The flight from the lizard's maze gave me an ingenious idea. You probably know that this lizard combined with a citron's ult can cause madness. We made a flying boat with the citron's energy sphere and we got a completely broken fisherman. Oh, and the hook left in the plant again, it's something beautiful. The whole picture makes me even cry. The Ankylosaurus combined with the citron's ult turned out to be such a savage beast that there is a whole video dedicated to this duo waiting for you next week. I promise it will be just as mind-blowing as this one with Thyme. Let's get back to the protagonist of today's video. I think the beginning was very tough, so I'll show you Thyme's quirks in a more light way. For example, he can take a Q from Levitator and start hurting his own mates. Now he has no trouble stealing zombies from the teleportator mine. Not a single zombie in the video were harmed, and you just saw how humane and good-natured I really am.
A few moments later.
Thyme is such a smart thief that he can snatch zombies even from the very tenacious clutch of Bramble Bash, and all the effects of slowing down, poisoning, freezing and other are also removed from the zombies. It seems that someone is aiming for Levitator's plates at the top of the best plants. If we are talking about teleportation, of course it's impossible not to have a duel between Thyme and the Trickster. The battle was between them and the victim was an innocent clown. He was simply burned by his own mate, but that had nothing to do with Thyme, so I decided to replay it. It turned out that there is a little madness going on here even without the burning, so the magician sort of licked his wand, but the clown is already teleported by Thyme, and yet he was transferred to the left by Trickster and seconds later sent to the right, so clown was torn into two sides. These two fellows don't usually walk on their own feet, they want a carriage. Well, or a bull, or at least a chair with wheels. However, I let them out on foot, and I did it on purpose, so I could laugh on their teleportation fall. Put up the time and strike a swallows pose? Good job, my dolls. And they come through the interspace channels also in a lying pose. Very funny, guys. I guess the pose with the light moments is over, so it's time to go back to armor-piercing projectiles. For that I need the Ankylosaurus again. This time I want him to push the Roman catapult. Maybe like the fisherman it will work, but unfortunately the lizard doesn't respond to the ballista. But we can move it without the dinosaur's help. Just pay 950 coins. Oh, miraculous power of Thyme, what else can you do? Another funny thing about the catapult is that by moving it to the left it launches the waves backwards, especially if there is a plant behind. The zombies in the waves do backflips like Ninja Turtles. Trying to clear the zombies from the lawn, I accidentally pulled the catapult away by Grim Rose. Thyme, what have you done to this formidable machine? It's not a ballista anymore. I decided to check the Zombie King for aerodynamic properties as well. The first launch attempt failed because I forgot about the barret, which I used to pull the king to the right lane. But after digging out the sweet potato, it should work. And so it did. The throne with the Fetch Rider flew out as the boat with the fisherman. Then the devil made me move the catapult and it tossed the vase as it was being thrown. The vase went where the junction of the two lanes and the zombie was also not in its usual place. What kind of wild things don't happen when you shoot a video? And to close the king theme, I wanted to see if he would knight after pushing by Ankylosaurus. Being ahead of the farmers, he doesn't react. Had to teleport the whole company in one plane, but even so the king didn't come back to life. Apparently badly he got a mace of the head. Well, if he won't walk, then let him fly again, this time to meet Citron Sphere. Well, I've tortured the poor fat man to death, and that's the state I'm going to leave him in. And we move on to the next experiments. Again, a few more simple subjects, but don't worry, I've left the craziest stuff for last. Now I have a whole horde of ladies from Neon Mixtape to illustrate the point. When teleporting, their aura first disappears with them, but comes back for a second, blinks again, and then everything comes back to normal. Well, it's so, quite lightweight madness, but the threat shield remains on the lawn for the entire time of teleportation of the zombie. Only after the appearance of the machine, shield returns to the owner. There is a lot going on with the pirate's barrel. I tried to film as many different stupid situations with this roller as I could. The first and most basic is that the barrel stays in place under normal conditions, and only the zombie is teleported, but after he appears, the barrel is miraculously magnetized to his hands. Pirate tricks, gentlemen. What happens if after the pirate disappears, we throw the barrel onto the other side of the road? How would he get it back then? Actually, he won't. That's the second twisted thing you can do to the zombie with time. On the third run, I just decided to kill the imps. After teleporting the pirate, the barrel goes to the spikes and the imps go overboard.
Surprise, surprise, motherf***!
Again, my humanity left the chat. Further, I decided to create a legendary, insane tandem of time and levitator. I also used the flip ability at the same time, and here I didn't know what affected it. Whether it was levitator's chance of ejection, or the flip, or both, but the fact is that the barrel just flew away. In the last experiment, this time I managed to make the barrel not return to the pirate at all, even when in the same lane as the pirate. To do this, I threw it from side to side the moment the pirate was absent. In that case, the wooden container really didn't come back, but just broke down over time. I have another fun thing to do with pirates. Win the captain of the ship, any plant that can kill a parrot quickly like bok choy, and time itself. All of these ingredients allow us to teach bok choy to hover in the air. The new ability is unlocked. Applause! We are already near the end of the culmination. A couple more scenes of medium insanity and there will be something incredible. First we watch Cactus, who is about to burst a balloon, but the time deprives Cactus of that opportunity, but the shooter keeps hitting over the top even when the zombies were not on the lawn at all. How about freezing time? In general, it's possible. All it would take is a pumpkin and a couple of hunters. The armor has already iced over, the third snowball is flying, and here's the time in the ice, but the zombies have also disappeared, though not teleported. They returned to the same place from which they disappeared. And now let's make a horse move. Defrost time and the cycle of teleportation still had to be completed. The hunters flew to the edge of the lawn. Move further. One last story before the main course. All eyes are on the rod. If the fisherman is hooked on the plant and teleported, the hook doesn't disappear, and when he returns, the bastard will immediately continue his devious act. You have to hand it to the fisherman. Getting off his hook is not that easy. Oh, come on, let's move on to the super insanity. Everything here will revolve around the blocks of stone. We see the most ordinary block of stone that Medusa created. Nothing happens to him. But time comes and teleports Medusa along with the stone. No, that's far from the main thing. The main thing will happen now. After the teleportation, the stone becomes animated and responds to, for example, the attraction of a battle. And yet, I was in a hurry, that is not the main thing either. Do you hear? Do you hear? Someone chewing on something. But there's only one zombie on the lawn, and it's Medusa. Are you ready? Get some air in your chest. It turns out that the rock is plants. It gobbled up the hypnosis room and even got hypnotized. How about that?
Damn!
In my opinion, this is one of the craziest things ever on the channel. But then again, it's not over yet. I guess after what you have seen, no one will be surprised by simply flipping a block with the ability for coins. I've got something else in store for you to freak out about. Let's damage the rock a bit, do it carefully with Ice Blossom, and then teleport the rock again. After it comes back, I'm going to break it down with the same Ice Blossom. The block is back, are you ready? Ready? We plant the Blossom again, it damn near restores the boulder. How? What? Why? Just now we broke it down with exactly the same plant, but Thyme came in and decided that's not the way to do it. Let's fix me this beautiful monument. As I was filming all this, I naturally had the idea to feed the cobblestone with hypnosis room again, only this time under the ult. And now, before your eyes, I turn a lifeless piece of granite into gorgeous gargantua. Call me the anti-Medusa. It turns all living things into stone, and I turn stone into living things. Now look carefully at the screen. Did you notice that there are two zombies in front of Medusa? That's no coincidence. I'm sure the smartest ones have already figured out what I'm going to do. I'm going to create 2 stones, and for that, well, that's an easy mystery. I throw the Hype Mushroom to them, and we get a chance to watch an incredible battle between 2 stones. I won. I'm not sure what's left of the stone, but I've only got the horns and the legs. It's a pity that Blossom doesn't restore the hypnotized boulder. And it was the thought of the treatment that prompted me to take the next step. I decided to add Healer to the big picture as well. I didn't show here how I teleport every 1%, just immediately watch as Healer hypnotize the stupefied truck. My god, what am I saying, what am I doing? Moreover, Healer will also heal the boulder if it's damaged. By the way, Cauliflower doesn't respond to an inanimate granite object, but that's nothing, so I wanted to show you one last trick. If you damage the block again, then unhypnotize it, cure it, and give it the Hype Mushroom again, you'll get a whole new block, and you can build a wall from it right now. A brick of the highest quality. Anyway, I'm tired. I've seen so much while filming this material. I hope you also enjoyed watching this video, so and accordingly present me a like. I promise in a week Ankylosaurus and Citron will give you at least as much PvZ Madness as Thyme. Well, I'm tired, I'm going crazy. I'm wrapping up today's video. See you in the next PvZ Madness.